Hello everybody, welcome to IA Command. Today we're going to be looking at another Vassal video, or a skirmish game that I played on Vassal. And this was a game that was played for the Zion's Finest tournament that's happening right now. I think there's like 42 players in this tournament, and this was round 3, my round 3 match. I think this is actually the largest tournament I'll ever play in for Imperial Assault. 42 players is a lot. Anyway, so I uploaded this one. I asked Amathor, my opponent, was very gracious and letting me upload this skirmish video to my channel, this game. I'm uploading it because I thought this was a really interesting match for those who are looking for ways to beat Spectre Cell or having problems with it. This was a really good game. So actually, I am playing Spectre Cell in this tournament and in this game. And Amathor is playing a really cool mercenary list, but it's got all the factions mixed in there. So you should be able to see the full lists up on the screen there on the left side. So I'm actually just going to go ahead and run through the game. I want to try and keep these short because that's one of the nice things about going through a Vassal replay log. So I'm playing Spectre Cell. I'm on the right, on the outside deployment zone. Amathor had initiative and ended up choosing the interior deployment zone. So let's get started. So let's see. So I use smooth landing here, moving up my figures. So Amathor has Sabine in his list, and I'm using Brash with Ezra there, drawing our command cards. So Amathor has Sabine in this list, and since I have Sabine also, I want to make sure to take control of that spire as soon as possible. I don't want him to be able to get onto the spire or even close to it on the first turn without me being there first. So draw cards. Amathor activates 000 here and uses his invasive procedure to focus himself. And you don't need to be adjacent to anybody to get a focus from that, so that's kind of a neat trick. Activate Sabine, move Sabine onto the spire, and play Rebel Graffiti. But Amathor plays Negation. I definitely want to negate the Rebel Graffiti as soon as it comes out. So Amathor activating 3PO here, focusing up Hondo. I pass. Let's see. Jawa activates. I move Hera down to the fluctuation to the south. I'm very careful. I don't want to be on the terminal until Chopper activates because he has Headhunter, which makes me discard extra cards if I take Strain. And since I don't have On the Lam in my hand yet, I don't want to lose that card. So activating, I move Kanan to the spire. Pretty safe little pocket for him there. I move Ezra onto the green fluctuation, which is nice, gives him a block token. Amathor would move Hondo up to the red fluctuation, and then, or excuse me, Greedo to the red and Hondo to the red fluctuation. I think they could actually get to the far red fluctuation since they're speed 5. But until I activate Zeb, that is not a safe place to be. So he does move. It looks like Sabine moves onto that red fluctuation now that Zeb has moved down to the spire. I'm trying to do my best here to keep all of my figures close to each other. I have found that splitting up the Spectre Cell is not a good strategy. So I move Chopper. I'm moving him in a way that I can take the terminal, his terminal with Chopper on the next turn, and again, I don't want to get shocked by his Chopper. So, and since he has 9 activations, he controls where I go with the terminal. In hindsight, I could have put my figures on the terminal and tried to lure Chopper in just so I'd get some free kills off of him, but I just didn't want to lose on the Lam. So. And he actually sends Chopper away from the spire. He doesn't want to lose him to Sabine. So that's the end of the round, it looks like. So I get 2 victory points, and he controls 3, and gets. Both of us are only drawing 1 card. Neither of us wanted to be on the terminal. Ezra and Sabine get to token up. The other figures shouldn't have tokens. That was just a mistake on reading the mission rules. I use Brash with Ezra here. Let's see. And I just move him one space down just so he is kind of out of line of sight for Greedo. I also use Doubt to strip the focus token off of Greedo. So now the looks like 3PO is focusing up the Jawa. I move Ezra to take control of that fluctuation and terminal. And I'm also trying to lure Vinto to come down and shoot me. I want him to move figures towards me. So I move Chopper back to control the fluctuation and my terminal, since Ezra took that terminal, and I use Ram to push Hera closer to the action. So 000 activates. Then I move Hera up to control the green fluctuation. Now I see a juicy clump of figures grouped up there in the northwest, so I move Sabine off of the spire and use Parting Gift to target those 3 figures. Just double checking that she can move that far. And yes, her grenade can reach out to 3 spaces. So 2 damage, nice roll. 2 damage to the 3 figures, and I move Sabine back sort of into cover. She's not totally safe there, but he does have to commit a little harder to get to her there. And the reason Gideon didn't take damage from that is because there's a wall there that his sprite is covering. So Amathor activates the Jawa, moves up adjacent to Sabine and plays Pickpocket, and steals 2 victory points from me. Pickpocket's a really good card. I kind of slept on that card when I first saw it, but with all these victory point shenanigans that are available now, it's one of the better. I think it's one of the better 1-point command cards for the victory point list. Well, I mean, it's good. So Jawa is declaring an attack on Sabine, focused attack, and does only 1 damage. So I activate Zeb, and I just go ahead and double move to do a melee attack. And I'm setting Zeb up here for a Spectre Cell to move back onto the green fluctuation. He activates, let's see, not sure. I think that was Vinto. Oh, that was Greedo activating, shooting at Zeb. So I go ahead and activate Kanan here and use Spectre Cell to attack with Zeb, which does, looks like puts him at 5. It does 3 damage to Vinto, and then I use the 2 movement points to move back onto control that fluctuation, and then I double move Kanan to be next to Sabine. So I'm just kind of trying to move up towards his figures, and we did agree to a 75-minute time limit for this match. Actually, I think it's supposed to be that for all the tournament games, so we're on a bit of a time crunch. Sabine comes down and makes an attack on Hera. It's a range 6 attack. I use Doubt to make him re-roll the green die, and then cancel it with Tough Luck, which makes the attack miss. Since now it's only range 5, and Sabine doesn't have a surge for accuracy. So yeah, Tough Luck, it's did its job. It canceled a 6 damage attack from Sabine and took away a focus from Greedo. So Doubt's pretty good. And Sabine moves to be on the fluctuation, and that is the end of round 2. Oh, nope, sorry, not the end quite. That's right, Hondo double moves into my deployment zone. Very sneaky, but I think that's the first time I've seen him use that ability. So nice move there. So I have 4 fluctuations, and Amathor has 3. Oh no, I'm sorry, he has 4. So we both score 4. And then Hondo steals 2 victory points from me with his ability. Then we get tokens. And so we have been switching the fluctuations around, and basically I am trying to take away the red fluctuations and giving him the blocking fluctuations, because the red fluctuations let him basically cancel my bonus block, whereas I have so much pierce that I don't really care about him getting bonus block tokens. So I use Brash with Ezra, moving him up to kind of threaten his backline, to threaten Gideon and 3PO here in case I draw some movement cards. I play Take Initiative, and I know it's going to go through because he already played his negation. And here I am going to try to take out Sabine with triple attack, the triple tap with strength in numbers. So the way that it works is I activate Kanan first. I use Spectre Cell to have Hera move up and attack. The attack misses here, and I have Dying Lunge in my hand. I should have, and actually let me move the screen so you can see my hand. Instead of over committing to Sabine here, I really wanted to kill her, but I really should have moved Kanan to the west instead, and then that way he would have been in a very target rich environment when he died, so I would have Dying Lunge. But yeah, I decided to go for Sabine anyway and hope I kill her. I don't, so I do 5 damage and then strength in numbers to activate Hera again, and 4, so 9 total to Sabine. And then I move back onto the fluctuation. So Amathor activates Sabine since she is very close to being dead. And he does 1 damage with his grenade. Oh, and he also did, I think he did no damage when he tried to use the grenade last turn. So that was bad luck for him. Okay, so attacks Kanan and does healthy 5 damage. He actually chose to use Blast there as well. So Sabine takes 1 more damage, but moves into a nice spot where she cannot be attacked. And he attempts to use Rebel Graffiti, but luckily I have my own negation. And those negations were pretty clutch in this game. So I activate my Sabine. This time I choose a spot that'll catch Gideon as well, and I get pretty lucky here and roll another double damage, so 3PO dies without having even attacked him. And then also puts Vinto at 1 health. So this is really great because it means that instead of attacking Vinto and opening myself up to a dodge or on the lam, I think he's a smuggler. Yeah, I'm pretty sure he's a smuggler. I can now kill him by attacking 000 and using the blast to finish off Vinto. So that puts me at 13, and I move Sabine back into cover. And we're getting close to the time limit here. So Amathor moves 000 up and attacks Kanan with a focused attack. And again, I get lucky, and I reroll it with 3 blocks. So right now, Amathor can choose between how to spend that surge. He can either pierce 2 to do 2 damage, or he can stun Kanan. And the only reason he'd stun Kanan is to play around the Dying Lunge. And because I've already activated Spectre Cell and Kanan's already activated, he knows that Kanan otherwise can't attack this turn. So he goes for the 2 damage. He wants to take out Kanan. He knows he needs to kill something to overcome the points. So let's see. Oh, there we go. 2 damage. And Kanan becomes weakened from unnerving. So I activate Zeb here. I need to clean up and kill some figures and also take some fluctuations. Zeb is able to do just enough damage. I think that was 4 damage to Gideon. So puts me at 16. And then here comes Greedo. And stays just 1 space back so that he doesn't get hit by slow on the draw. So he attacks Kanan with a surge power token. Kanan's weakened, so I just re-roll that and get a much better result. So he does 2 damage to Kanan and bleed, although this is the last round, so I pass here. He moves Greedo onto the fluctuation. Or no, excuse me, he moves, Greedo back to the other fluctuation. And then he moves Chopper in to attack, and Chopper actually does 1 damage to Kanan. So we hit our time limit here, but that means we do get to play out the round. I activate Ezra and move him back to the fluctuation. And here comes Hondo. Hondo attacks Kanan. Amathor did mention to me on the Slack that he thought another possible play here would be to, instead of going after Kanan, have Hondo go after Chopper, and he would have likely killed him. But so what would have happened there is even if I paid victory points if he attacked Chopper, that would have been a 47% chance to kill Chopper. So I probably wouldn't have paid. He would have killed Chopper, gone up to, let's see, 13. Well, actually, let's go through this first. So attack. I choose not to pay the victory points because, again, I am holding Dying Lunge and I know I'm going to get some points here. So attacks, finishes off Kanan, and I played Dying Lunge. So Kanan now attacks 000, and again I'm weakened, but 000 low rolls and I high roll. So that puts me at 20. Amathor plays Celebration, so he gets a total of 12 points off of Kanan, putting him at 22. So if he had attacked Chopper instead, he would have gotten 7 instead of 12, so that would have put him at 17, but he wouldn't have lost 000. So I would be at 6, so he would have been at 17 to my 16. But now, because of the end of round, we do the fluctuations. I control 4. He has 2. So that actually puts us at a tie. And if he had killed Chopper, I would have only controlled 3. And he would have had 2 still, because he wouldn't have been able to reach the fluctuation that Chopper was on. So that means I would have been at 16, he would have been at 17, I would have gone to 19, and he would have gone to 18. So he would have lost by 1 point if he had killed Chopper instead. So we end up actually being tied at the end of the match, 24-24. But what happens is, according to the tournament rules for Imperial Assault, if both players are tied in victory points at the end of time, the player that has the most victory points from killing figures wins the game. And technically, Amathor only had 8 points from killing Kanan. But that means he scored, 16 points through objectives and just other cards. So technical victory for me here. Very close game. But again, it shows you one of the ways you can go after Spectre Cell. You don't just have to kill their figures. If you can play the points game and play it out to time, you can overcome Spectre Cell that way. So anyway, I hope you guys enjoyed the game. Thought it was interesting. Thanks Amathor for the game. Thanks for letting me showcase it up here. Really love the list. Some cool stuff going on with 000 and Vinto. So anyway, thanks guys, we'll see you later. Bye.